Welcome to Soulciété, the shift, the tribe, the movement. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, this is Dr. Erin. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together in community, Soulciété. We are committed to being the #1 spiritual coaching community, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and yes, entrepreneurship. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and our mission is to awaken 1 billion people. So today I want to talk to you about Spiritual Coaching 101. I truly believe that spiritual coaching is one of the most important things that needs to happen on this planet. And so I know I get a little goofy sometimes on social media. I like to be, a spiritual badass and have fun and kind of claim my power. But I want to get a little bit real and raw and get down to the heart of the matter today. So let's talk about spiritual coaching. And whether you're somebody that desires to have spiritual coaching, that you're going through something stressful in your life, you're dealing with money issues, you're dealing with relationship issues, you're dealing with overwhelm and confusion, or maybe even sadness, an addiction, depression, you name it, we've all been there, right? Or whether you're somebody who is really truly desiring to become a spiritual coach and you're like, this is the most important thing. I know that this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I truly believe that spiritual coaching is the most important, one of the most important things on this planet, because I know for a fact everything begins with consciousness. Everything begins in mind. Whether it is something you're dealing with in your health, I know that it begins in mind because even the toxins in our environment, it's a choice that we chose to do that began in our mind. Whether we're dealing with stress, or we're dealing with whatever, it all begins in the mind. We know that the moment that you put a positive or negative meaning to anything, you instantaneously feel a positive or negative experience. And so this is what I know. I recognize that this industry, spiritual coaching, is going to blow up. Okay. I know this in my mind, it's done, and I know it for sure. And there is a reason why I believe this and why I believe it's future proof. Okay. And I also believe that it's more than possible to become a highly paid professional as a spiritual coach and make a difference in your own life, in your own family, in your own inner circle, and in the world. And I truly believe it all comes down to commitment and decision to say, I'm done. I've had enough. I am ready to commit to doing and having the best life. Okay. But here's the reality, you guys. Okay. The reality is that we have some major issues going on in the world. Okay. People come to me. I've had CEOs, celebrities, single moms, you name it. I've heard it all. Okay. There's nothing that would shock me in a session with a client. I've heard about rapes and even, molestation. I've heard of, abuse, domestic abuse. I've heard of, parents beating their children to, you name it. I've heard it. There's actually nothing that I think could actually shock me because I'm trained as a spiritual coach to really be able to hold neutrality in session. What would surprise me in the world is when I hear people majorly thriving and doing extraordinary work on this planet. That is what is inspiring for me. Okay. So this is the reality around some of the stats. Okay. We have major depression, loneliness. 2 out of 5 Americans report that they feel like lonely. Okay. 2 out of 5 report throughout the week they feel lonely. We have over 300 million people on this planet are addicted to just alcohol alone. That's not even talking about workaholism, eating disorder, gambling, addiction, all these things. Even like people who are not depressed, okay? It says only 15% of marriages of people married say they're happy 50% of the time. That's 15%, you guys. I'm not just talking about divorce rate. I'm talking about actually thriving, okay? How many people are actually thriving, and how do you begin to thrive and have true success? Gary Vee says it best right now. He says we need to shift our what we think success is. Until we shift success to what happiness is based on happiness instead of money, we're screwed as a culture, okay? And I want to take it even further, Gary Vee. I think that happiness is fleeting. Fulfillment, what is true fulfillment? And trust me, I know a lot of multi-millionaires, along with Gary Vee, I'm sure knows a zillion billionaires that are miserable inside, okay? So until we find fulfillment, until we are living in alignment with our truth, until we are purpose-driven, we're not going to be fulfilled. Do you know they say only 25% of the population actually believes they have a purpose, okay? 25, that means 75% of the population does not have a driving fulfillment purpose, okay? This is an issue. So let's get back to why I believe also that coaching can be, it's blowing up, you guys, okay? First of all, it's not even a known industry. Soulciété is claiming this. We are certifying, okay? So there's 7.7 billion people on this planet. Do you know that there's only about 47 coaches worldwide? And that's not spiritual coach. This is coaches, okay? 47,000 coaches worldwide. That means there's a one coach for every 163,000 people. That means that you could go and see Lady Gaga at the Super Bowl and you wouldn't even, they can't even have that many people in that stand, okay? That's like I think it's like 2 football fields. I don't even know. It's a lot. The reality is that it is going to become a highly, highly, highly demanded industry as far as I'm concerned, okay? So let's break this on down. Why spiritual coaching, right? So for me, I began my journey, as you guys know, at 22 when I had my stillborn. I'm not going to go into that story. You can go to one of my past, podcasts on that. But when I was I was financially broke inside. I was emotionally, spiritually, financially bankrupt inside. Okay. And I began my journey and I began, going to seminars. I would read books. I began meditation. I went on a huge track. Okay. It's been 24 years or something like that. I don't know how old I am, but the reality is this, is that after going to seminars, after reading all the books, after all of it, I really had to assess, what works, what doesn't work, why. Okay. So obviously reading books, I completely will always suggest everybody to read a good self-help book, okay? But the reality is only 1 in 10 people complete books. And the reality also is there are very few people who actually apply it or even, apply the wisdom to their life, okay? Seminars are great. They're amazing. Look at Tony Robbins, freaking killing it, okay? I've done so many different types of seminars and I love them. They're amazing. You're empowered, you're transformed, you're all this stuff. And then you come home and within 2 weeks, you're like trying to remember how that felt, and you don't have any community around it, have any sustainability. And I remember just beating myself up. I'd come back and I would just be beat up after it because I couldn't sustain it. In fact, usually I'd use the seminar to make other people wrong. You should be doing this, right? And then going into a bunch of the modalities, okay? Back in the day, sustaining our spiritual nature it's long gone, right? I think it started when the church started in Europe years back. And people don't want to go to church anymore. They're done with the dogmatic thing. They're done with making, God outside of themselves. They're done with all this. Younger generations get it. They're not going to do that. It's because they know intuitively that it doesn't work, okay? So what do we do now? Here we've got all these problems, all this stuff. How do we deal with this? Well, I truly believe that spiritual coaching is the answer. And the reason why is because there's all different levels of spiritual coaching. You may want to do one-on-ones that are more, getting into your personal trauma work, getting clear of what your core values are, birthing your truth, really healing your life. And we know this now. We know that that you got to go past life. Okay. Epigenetics is proving now that we are living in a time where we know it's not just about this lifetime, and I think that, therapy and cognitive therapy versus spiritual coaching. My sister's a cognitive therapy. I love her work. It's amazing. Cognitive therapy is incredible. They've got all kinds of trauma work and all kinds of, the issue for me is that until they deal with past life trauma, it's not going to make the big shift. Okay. They know that now. Epigenetics know that all memory comes down the DNA, all track. And when I did my trauma work, went into past life regressions, did all this work, that's when I realized, holy shit, this trauma doesn't even have to do with this lifetime. It doesn't have to do with that my parents got divorced when I was 2 years old. This is from major, major stuff on my DNA track, okay? So I truly believe that spiritual coaching, this is the difference, is that we go into those realms and we complete the energetic of all of your DNA, okay? How far do you want to go down the rabbit hole? Well, if you really, really want to live a thriving life, I believe that you've got to complete the cycles of your DNA. Otherwise, it's just like puppet strings playing out your life. So, what is spiritual coaching and how does it work? Okay. Spiritual coaching is really about doing the inner work. It's about transformation. It's beyond the form. It's going into the spiritual realm, because everything, spirituality is the reality that everything comes from spirit, your true self, your soul. Everything's coming from consciousness. So it is really about healing your inner trauma work, shifting your limiting beliefs, facilitating you and getting clear of what your core values are so that you can put boundaries on things and begin to live powerfully. It's about taking back your power. Where have you handed your power over? Where have you made things your source outside of yourself? It's about getting clear of what your purpose is here and getting clear of what legacy you want to leave, okay? So just imagine living a life of power, passion, purpose. Imagine making money doing what you love to do. You know how many people are in jobs they hate? Do you know how many people are in jobs they hate? I mean, are you kidding? If you're not doing what you love to do, you kind of have missed the entire point of life. Alan Watts speaks greatly about this, speaking about college students coming to him and asking, what should I do? I can't make money doing what I want to do. I'm an artist. And he goes, what's the point? You're going to go out there, you're going to get some career you don't like to make some money to one day be able to do what you want. Meanwhile, you're going to rack up a bunch of bills and be in the rat race, and then you're never going to actually be able to do what you want to do. If you don't love what you do, I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting really real with yourself, looking yourself in the mirror and thinking this is not fucking dress rehearsal. This is your life. Your ancestors did not struggle and suffer for you to not claim your birthright of prosperity and love what you're doing. Okay? Your parents didn't struggle. You now have the answers. People are waking up and realizing that the shift is within. They know this. You know this, okay? Stop messing around. Stop pretending like it's okay. Stop waiting for someday some lightning bolt to come down and give you the sign. Okay, I'm so done with the spiritualists that are just waiting for the sign or waiting for the stars to align to do their thing. No, this, we got to get pragmatic as spiritual coaches, okay? Imagine having powerful, loving, deep relationships. Imagine having life of vibrant vitality and well-being. Imagine being the change you desire to experience in the world. Imagine living a life beyond your wildest dreams, okay? Spiritual coaching is really about a process. And if you're with a good spiritual coach, we train spiritual coaches in Soulciété to a very, very specific framework of being able to do someone's inner work, their trauma work, their past life regressions, being able to take back their power, being able to know the truth of who they are. You're walked through 12 processes in subconscious processes, birthing your core values, dealing with upsets, confusion, dealing and handling people in your life that are pushing past their boundaries, being able to really get clear of where those boundaries are for yourself. We walk you through the process of birthing your purpose and calling, through the suffering you've had in this lifetime and past lifetimes. We walk you through creating your life purpose statement so that you can powerfully create goals that matter and that are in alignment with your truth, okay? In Soulciété, we also train our coaches in business development, in understanding all things from leveraging yourself online, getting clients, and so on and so forth. I truly believe it comes down to one thing and one thing only. It comes down to a declaration. It comes down to a decision, the power of decision to say, I've had enough. I'm doing what I truly want to do in my life. And if I don't know what that is, I'm going to figure it out. And in that, I recognize in that power of decisions, it is done. Decide to be a spiritual badass. Decide to live your truth. Decide to heal yourself. Decide to no longer put up with mediocrity. Decide to be extraordinary. And when you truly embody the truth, when you truly live on spiritual principle and you no longer make anyone wrong, you focus on what you do want instead of what you don't want. When you truly live your best life, you know that you're saying hell yes to what you do want, hell no to what you don't want, and you have no more excuses. And in that, I know that there is something for you to do in this life. You have a gift, you have a calling, you have a voice. And so I'd like to invite you to apply to Soulciété today. We only work with highly committed individuals that are committed to doing their inner work, so that they can make a difference in the world. And again, I truly believe that spiritual coaching is one of the most important things that's being done on this planet. We are claiming this industry as Soulciété, the number one spiritual coaching community in the world, committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. You can go to soulciété.com. You can DM me on social media. I'm drerin.tv on all social media, which is DRERIN.tv. Okay. There's also a free training on our website on Soulciété. You can check out that masterclass and just know the truth that today is the day. Today is the only day. Okay, there's no such thing as time in the spiritual realm. Stop waiting. This is not dress rehearsal. Whether you work with Soulciété or whether you work with another program, I don't care what it is. Do your work, do your inner work, get a community, get accountability. The greatest athletes, the greatest people all have mentors, all have coaches. It is the common denominator. I truly believe that the greatest investment you can ever make is in your own consciousness, in developing your mindset so you can have a millionaire mindset, so you can have a powerful mindset and become love. Don't look for love out there, that you can know and make powerful choices to have a healthy life and live your best life. Okay? Have a wonderful life and may you live your truth. Thanks again for tuning in to Dr. Erin and Soulciété podcast. I'd like to invite you to write a review on iTunes. Also, I have a free gift for you, a money meditation and worksheet, which you can find at soulciété.com. That's www.soulciete.com. Or 30 guided meditations at drerin.tv. That's www.drerin.tv. We also hold monthly Soulciété events that are all about transformation and building extraordinary community. You can also watch me live daily on goodmorninglalaland.com or Instagram at drerin.tv. Grab your free manifestation masterclass with the purchase of my international best-selling book, Awakening, a 40-day guide to unleashing your spiritual powers, life purpose, and manifesting your dreams at erinfallhaskell.com/awakening book.